Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. It is time for that weekly painting progress. And oh my god, what a frustrating week it has been. Never mind all the work stuff, because that's been pretty frustrating, but all my painting, oh my god, I have a bit of a sailor mouth around the house. Obviously not on YouTube, because I know there are ex-students of mine watching, and I always like to put up a good positive, example. But strings of expletives have been emptying out of my mouth on a regular basis for the past few days, because I have broken so many things. Just things getting snagged on sweatshirts, things getting bumped, things getting banged. I had one model just seem to fall on its own today because I looked at it. I don't know what's going on. It's been a Butterfingers issue this week. It has been absolutely bonkers. I broke giants. I broke dragons. I broke bizarre Cobra mode monsters. I mean, I'm just like, I was really frustrated. Not only that, but then I got like some kind of stomach bug from my students while I was trying to finish up report cards in between going to in-services and doing all kinds of other stuff, which is half the fun of juggling all the various hats that a teacher does. But I was super sick and thought, oh crap, I'm only gonna get like one or two things done this week. But surprisingly, despite as frustrating as it was, I persevered. And I am living proof that you too can persevere through whatever hardships and obnoxious obstacles that get in your way. And there's obviously much more important things which were dealt with than hobby stuff. But I did try to make time because honestly, that's like my little safe haven, my recluse refuge from all of the insanity of the daily basis. And despite the fact that I can't seem to get this wash off my fingers either, I found this old Skull Pass dwarf, and I thought, you know what the hey? It's been a while since I painted him. I painted him this morning, in fact. And, I mean, from a distance, this is at a 4x zoom, and I figure, you know what, you can see most of the details. I've been painting a bunch of other random dwarves in similar colors, with this kind of dark turquoise on off-white. I was hoping it was going to be like the same turquoise that I've been using for like the guild stuff for epic scale models and like one-page rules space dwarf guild, but I don't have any of those handy for some reason. I finally put them all away. I had like 4 or 5 of them sitting around here. That's what I get for cleaning up, I guess. Anyway, I really miss these guys. This was such a fun set, and you know what? It dawned on me. Having the ability, as a younger kid, and I obviously wasn't a kid when Skull Pass came out, but, being able to pool your resources even with a friend, I want to say this was like $50, $60, $70 maybe max when this set came out. And yeah, inflation, blah, blah, blah. But, and I mean, obviously those are US dollars. I don't know what it was in your currency if you are living in a different area. My apologies. But, it was affordable, and I thought you got a lot of bang for your buck. And sure, you may not have had like the giant rank and file armies necessary for some of those later editions of Warhammer Fantasy, but they were just really solid models, and it was just a fun set, both the goblins and the dwarves. I mean, so it was kind of fun painting this guy up. Some serious nostalgia there. I like those models. I'm like one of those people. I've never even been a fan of dwarves for the most part. But when I have them, I'll paint them because they're just fun to paint, and they're pretty fun to use. And my son has been on a bit of a 80s classic, well, 80s and 90s, classic genre action film bender. And so we've got Robert Kopp, no relation to the OCP, role model, obviously. But yeah, this is one of the Papsicles models, and we had a big argument in our family about the purple tint of RoboCop 2 versus the polished version of number 3 and the basic version of number 1. So we just kind of went with something in between. He is hoping now. That kid, I've had all these movies sitting around for years. I guess he's just at that age now. So he went off and watched that. He's been watching like all of Carpenter's movies. He really liked They Live. And in fact, I haven't even had a chance to look, but he was asking if anybody knows where to find the antagonists of They Live without spoiling too much, obviously. For those of you, 40-something years after the movie came out, still are unaware of what that's all about. If you guys have any links on that, I would love to find some. And also any of the dog version of the things. He was like, I want to paint one of those. I'm like, you're not going to paint it. I'll paint it. But yeah. So we've had a lot of very familiar theme songs blaring. So I've had the RoboCop theme blaring in my head, and I want to say it was the same guy that did Starship Troopers, the music, and the Conan soundtrack. Basil something that I'll mispronounce. But you guys probably know what I'm talking about. I mean, obviously Verhoeven did both of those, Starship Troopers and that. I don't know if my kids watch Starship Troopers yet. I might have to have them watch that one of these days. All right, what else we got? Lots of random stuff. Another of the tactical maids from Marcin Atelier, who primarily does a lot of chibi-themed SD-sized miniatures, along with a lot of other stuff. But yeah, I've been really digging the Magical Girl Assault stuff, and slowly but surely I was determined I was going to print up and paint up a bunch of these tactical maids. I thought they were kind of fun. We're going to use them like in the Doomed or something ridiculous like that. I didn't do the best job painting her, but it's good enough. Again, if I've got it that zoomed in and you can see the bulk of the details, I'm going to call it a day. Of course, I had the sniper almost all finished, and then I dropped her, broke her leg, broke her gun, broke her off her base. Yeah, so I don't know what kind of gun she's running now. I'm probably going to get her done this week or the next. So you can see what I have done to that model. All right. Stonehaven Mini. And I don't remember if this is just supposed to be a regular sumo or a dwarf sumo or what. And I was trying to think, well, do I have any human models from Stonehaven? And I realized I don't think I've ever printed or purchased, even when they were doing just the metal stuff. I don't think I own any human Stonehaven models. We've got just about every crazy race that they put out in between there, but no actual humans. I mean, he's a big dwarf, but it's like, if he's a dwarf, we're just speculating here, because I mean, putting him up with a human, you can see there's a big difference in size. Now, I do have the half-orc Jester. I'm assuming he's half-orc. You can see he's significantly larger here, which is another fun one. I was meaning to get Prime this weekend, and getting a nasty stomach virus, that kind of put a pause on that. So hopefully we'll see this guy done up good and proper. Stonehaven always makes fun stuff. All right, what else we got? Oh, so we got some more of the late Roman cataphracts from Fireforge. I have been meaning to finish these. So I had these horses done. I showed ages ago, one of the finished models from this set. I built actually almost the entire box at this point. I don't think I built any of them with the lances for whatever reason. I think they all have the maces. But I could not find where I put the riders. So I have almost all the horses painted, except I didn't do much detail with the barding on them. And then finally this week, maybe like Monday or Tuesday, I actually found the mounts. So now that I've got the riders, I finally went ahead and finished a few more. These are just nice, solid models. Not to say that there's anything wrong with the ones from Gripping Beast. I feel like these are just a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier. They're just nice, solid models. I do wish there was a little bit more contact with the base, but that's a big gripe I have with a lot of cavalry models. So it's nice to have these guys finally finished. Those horses have been plaguing my table for quite some time. They've just been sitting there waiting to get done. So now they're finished, thankfully. All right, another random Raging Heroes Samurai. This is one of the evil ones from the second set. What was it, like Heroes of the Rising Sun or something like that? I don't know what's going on with his kimono thing. There's some kind of pattern, and I couldn't figure it out, and I didn't bother to actually look at the website or anything, so I just kind of rolled with it and did whatever. And I'm not sure if the results work, but it's done, and we're just going to move on. I thought his skin was going to be a little bit lighter. I really would like to go back and kind of fix that up. I wanted it to be a light purple, not this dark, dark purple. So I'll probably have to mix in some white or something to get it a little bit lighter than what I wanted. Or get it to the point that I want. So, but he's finished. I'm happy about that. Here's another model that has been sitting in front of me for ages, probably since the sculptor released it. This is the Android Boo from, what is it, Dragon Ball Super? I don't even know. I gave up on Dragon Ball after GT, guys. That was enough to turn me off for some time. I've been a big fan of Toriyama's work for a long time, but I just don't have the patience to sit there anymore. And this model in particular comes to us from Erkman's. Erkman is always making interesting stuff. I strongly suggest if you have anywhere near as obscure and vast interests in various pop culture things coming from all around the world, but usually Japan, there's definitely some fun models to be had. And I'm super excited because as of next month, we're finally going to see some Arknight models. And that's like one of those few games, I think, outside of Fate and Iron Saga that has been installed on my phone for a very, very long time. So yay for that. I will absolutely be showing those off once we get those. And finally, I am trying to clear out, like I said, all of my various Piper makes drones, droids, mechs, what have you. And this is another of the Void Crafted, and I forget what the official call sign designation is for these. I had another one with the two blades earlier, and I've got, I want to say they're basically like a warlock class, because they have like a bunch of staves and kind of magic looking ones, but I thought it would be kind of fun to do a more weapon oriented guy, as he's like standing in his little Zen garden there. They're really nice figures. Sometimes it could be a bit frustrating trying to get things to dry fit, but I could say that about almost every single model. And the ridiculous amount of options and cross-compatibility with all these things. While the Void Crafted are running right now, we have some really interesting, basically like close combat style aspect warriors, I guess for lack of a better comparison, but I mean, I think that's like selling them short, to be honest, because the amount of parts, each set, I think Piper seems to outdo themselves. It's like every set gets bigger and more ridiculous in terms of options and varieties and compatibility. And I mean, really, if you have any interest in this kind of stuff from a modeling aspect, you really cannot go wrong with this. If you like the, you know, mech style of what they're offering right now. So, you know, I know they're having the Voidcraft run, but there also is an option if you want to get reruns of the Greater Good fish-themed army. Yeah, I've got it absolutely way down with a penny down there. The Gobies, I think, are one of my favorite. The Cordoba are a nice one. I forget what these ones were called. The Coronata or something like that. Ordinata. But yeah, anyway, definitely check those out. And while you're at it, check out all the other stuff, because as always, we'll have links to all these goodies down below. And I gotta say, for a crazy, stressful week, with me sick, with me busy running errands with kids, with me really not having time to paint, I am really happy that I was able to sit down and manage to get a good chunk of stuff finished. So if I can do it, guys, and trust me, this week was absolutely bonkers for me. If I can do it, you can do it. So take solace in that with my ridiculous schedule. I was telling my family, I think I made 5 trips back and forth from home to school this week on one day alone. Taking the kids to school early for athletics training, taking them to school, taking myself to school, taking myself home, going back to get kids, going back for parent meetings, going back to pick one up, going back for the other one later. It's just been absolutely bonkers. Like, so my free time is very limited, but I get to spend it with you guys. So I'm happy about that. As always, like I said, we'll have those links down below. Check them out. And I don't know, I'm like just getting more and more frustrated that I suck at sculpting stuff. And so my wife's like, well, why don't you just ask the people on YouTube? You know, maybe there's somebody out there that's interested in doing something. So I'll throw that out there. if you guys are interested in doing any kind of commission work, if you want to do any kind of collaboration on, I have some bizarre ideas for models that really nobody else is kind of doing. Drop me a line. Who knows? Maybe it'll be something fun. So, with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.